state of Maryland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. McKinney, I want to extend to you my sympathy for your horrible loss. As a father who lost a son who was a year younger than your son, I cannot know your pain or your experience, but I know you live with it every day, and my heart goes out to you. Ms. McKinney and Mr. Mauro, in fact, all of the witnesses have underscored the importance, as Mr. Mauro put it, I think, of voicing support for the police. And we voted to create a plaque. I mean, it wasn't a memorial fund for anyone. It wasn't money to go to families, but at least it was a plaque to honor the work of the officers who defended us with their lives. And it reads, "On behalf of a grateful Congress, this plaque honors the extraordinary individuals who bravely protected and defended this symbol of democracy on January 6, 2021. Their heroism will never be forgotten." It was supposed to have been put up in the Capitol 2 years ago. It has still not been put up, and I thought I would start with an easy one, just a yes or no question. Would you agree that Speaker Johnson should put this plaque up as provided for in federal law? Dr. Levine, I can start with you.
Yes.
Ms. McKinney?
Yes.
Mr. Mauro?
Yes.
And Mr. Mango?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I want to go to just quickly back to the question of the pardons, because it seems like our soft on crime president is so beholden to the MAGA militia that he's actually pardoned some of the people he already pardoned because they've gotten back in trouble. As I was reading the long list of crimes they've already engaged in, he recently pardoned a woman who was separately convicted of threatening to shoot FBI agents who were investigating a tip that she may have been at the Capitol, and she threatened to shoot them. And then he pardoned another insurrectionist from Kentucky who'd been arrested for illegally possessing 6 firearms and 4,800 rounds of ammunition. And just question to you, Dr. Levine, what message is sent by these repeated pardons for people who just participated in the insurrection surrounding the attempted overthrow of the 2020 presidential election?
I think the best way to answer that is to quote Chairman Van Drew, who said in his opening remarks, "When you take away consequences, you get chaos."
Okay, and Mr. Mauro, let me come back to you, because you invoked the broken windows thesis by James Q. Wilson. Piqued my ears. He was my professor when I was in school, so I was always, I wrote a paper about it. I was always fascinated by it. And also, we had a lot of broken windows here on January 6, 2021, in addition to a lot of broken bones. And I wonder, I read that long list, I won't go through the whole thing again, but of crimes that have been committed since the pardons took place by people who were pardoned, including terroristic threats, home invasion, burglary, vandalism, theft, not offenses directed at politicians. I'm afraid the chairman misunderstood my point. He seemed to think that I was talking about these crimes being directed just at politicians. I'm talking about these being common crimes that were committed by people who were pardoned, people going out and just robbing other people's houses, having nothing to do with politics. But my question for you on broken windows, are you surprised that people who were given the remarkable, extraordinary, almost unheard of privilege of a presidential pardon quickly going back out on the road and doing things like burglary, vandalism, theft, home invasion, terroristic threats? And what does that say in the context of broken windows?
All I would say relative to January 6th is that if we're going to speak about the conditions in our cities, I'm hearing a great deal about January 6th. I'm hearing a tremendous amount about Donald Trump. But that's not what you feel on the street. And January 6th, nobody supports, certainly I don't. Nobody wants to see people in Viking horns walking around inside our Capitol behaving that way. I can't,
okay,
I'm not going to excuse, I'm not going to excuse anything
I'm sorry,
that
you would invoke James Q. Wilson about the broken windows hypothesis, which is that if
would you apply it? Would you apply it?
Mr. Chairman, will you direct him to
apply it to the
I've reclaimed my time. I've reclaimed my time. You might not understand the rules here, but we have
Mr.
rules.
Mauro, actually, your thought was one of the better thoughts I've heard all day today. I appreciate it. It is the gentleman's time, the ranking member's time. Thank you.
Please restore my time if you would. Let me come to you, Dr.
We will
Levine, on
restore
that.
your time.
The broken windows hypothesis is that if you allow people to get away with a crime at a certain level, and you send them the message it's okay, then they will go out and commit other crimes and more serious crimes. And that's what I think we're seeing here. What do you think, and I know you haven't written a paper on this because I looked at your extensive scholarship, but what do you think about the proposition, well, that there are political crimes and we can forgive all of those, and those people will not take it as a permission slip to go out and commit other crimes? Does that seem right?
No, sir, it doesn't, although I'm so tempted to geek out on what broken windows really was, according to George Kelling and James Q. Wilson. George Kelling was on faculty at the Rutgers School of Criminal Justice for years, and it wasn't about enforcement. It was really about how visible signs of disarray and disorder can send a signal that places are vulnerable for crime. And fixing those broken windows. It wasn't about
Which is why I was
arresting
pointing out we had
people
millions of
left and
dollars
right.
of broken windows here in addition to all of the
Yes.
bloodshed and the people.
Time has expired.
I yield back.